Hey everyone, and welcome back to the news. So, this has been quite a week. Blood Elves are going to look even more fabulous. We've got some probably fake numbers that have appeared, but I've since ran my own analysis on the numbers. We have a pack of new mounts and a Diablo update. So yeah, it's quite a lot. And this edition of the news is brought to you by all the wonderful people at Patreon. They've been the backbone of the channel, and over there I've just posted a video on how you can go about starting your own side hustle. And of course, we've got this month's master tier. So one of these lovely envelopes full of nice things could be, you know, on its way to you. So a big thanks to them. You can check it out down below. And let's get into the numbers. Okay, so let's cover this supposed leak. There was a fairly large drama that swept across the forums earlier in the week. Is that the full story, though? No, because there's a lot more, and you've probably only heard the initial headline. So, this all started whenever WeakOrs tweeted some numbers saying they had read a forum post on OwnedCore where somebody used the new Battle.net API to run through BNet accounts and see who was or was not subscribed. Now, that post has since been deleted on OwnedCore, and we were just left with the numbers floating around that BfA had 3.2 million subs on launch and is now down to 1.7 million, but that those numbers did not include China. Now, they would be fairly interesting statistics, but they don't seem to actually be true, because there's no way to verify the original claims, as WeakOrs did point out, and then of course Blizzard went on to contact WeakOrs to confirm that the numbers were not true. Of course, all this happened after the numbers spread like wildfire, so it's either the case that the numbers are a total fiction, or that they're based off a parse of BNet accounts that isn't complete, and that the claim, you know, of the API thing being public is true, and then if that is true, then either Blizzard are lying, or the numbers are an incomplete sample, and you know, Blizzard are being truthful. Now, I'm fairly certain that Blizzard are being truthful here. I would not be surprised if the numbers were partially real or something like that, but just an incomplete sample. And I don't think Blizzard would lie, because
I agree with that too.
Lying about their financial performance is, I'm pretty sure, criminal. That would get Activision Blizzard into extreme trouble on the stock market, and I think that just means we can take the possibility of them lying off the cards. Now, if it was 3.2 million, that was totally true for the launch, then I guess it could kind of make sense. Like, BfA sold 3.4 million, but that included pre-orders that were really strong because of allied races, and the 3.4 of the sales may include China, which is not included in the 3.2. Now, a drop in active players by like 40%. I don't know if it would be that surprising. Warlords of Draenor saw WoW drop from 10 million to 7.1 in a quarter, and then down to 5.6 within 2 quarters. So the question is, like, you know, are these numbers a slice of actual players, or are they total BS? There's no way to know, but I'm going to err on the side and saying that the numbers are rubbish. But the thing is, I love numbers, and there's more that I can do. So I can look at how many level 111 plus characters there are. And you know, this early stage of the expansion, doing that gives you a slice of active players. So on EU realms, there are 2.9 million characters above 111. On US, there's 2.7 million for a total of 4.6 million. So then the question is, what is the average number of characters per subscriber? That's something that only Blizzard can know, but we can guess. Right now, I've got one 120 character, and that's it. But back in Legion, I had like 12 110s. I wasn't sure what number to use, so I asked my Twitter followers to share their numbers in a poll. But before that, like, if we were to say that the average active player had like 2.5 characters above 111, or, you know, like that's like a main and an altar too, that would have us at 1.84 million active players from that sample that I talked about. Now, that's fine, but we can do better. So with the Twitter, well, basically, here's the Twitter poll, and we overall found around 3.5 was the average number of characters per player. Now,
3.5,
wow. The total active endgame population to 1.29 million players across NA and EU. Now, what's interesting is that kind of lines up with the WeakOrs story. Now, what I think happened is maybe that the OP that WeakOrs saw ran the same numbers that I just ran, and maybe tried to inflate it by claiming that these are real numbers, when in reality they're just a best guess that's kind of limited. Now, this analysis excludes new players who are below 111, and it basically only includes people who like played Legion and carried through to BfA, or have just like got up to 111 plus pretty fast. It also doesn't include people who have like multiple characters or accounts even that well, and it doesn't even include China or Korea. I think. So I'm not really sure what to mean past this just being a judgment of the current end game active population of World of Warcraft, which seems to be between 1.3 and 2 million players across Europe and NA based on this data. And really, this is the only time that doing this analysis makes sense, because it is measuring something that's only been possible to measure since August 2018. So it covers a 2-month window in which people would have had to have been active and therefore would have been subscribed. If we were to count this again in 6 months, it would be pointless, because you would be measuring people who were subscribed like sometime in the last 8 months, which isn't really a useful number. Now, I wish I had historical data for
If I can just pause, and I do want to elaborate a little bit on his methodology in obtaining these numbers. Obviously, the methodology is partially flawed in the same way that if you went to a golf club and you asked, like you took a poll of what the average income is at like a country club or a golf club or something like that, it would on average be higher than if you took the average income of somebody at a food stamps office, for example. So the correlation here and the analogy is the people that are consuming World of Warcraft content on Twitter actively are the most engaged and highest involved and probably the most active players of the game. So because of that, the numbers that he would be getting out of this would be skewed towards more hardcore players, because by definition they would be more hardcore because they're involved with the game in secondary areas like Twitter and doing polls and consuming content for it on YouTube. I think on average most people probably only have one character. That's the truth. Most people probably only have one. And whenever you look at it from that perspective, there are a lot more than probably 1.5 to 2 million players. I would say if you use the same extrapolation, we can look at these numbers here. So the average amount of total 111 characters is, what's this number here? 4.6 million. I would say it would be somewhere around 3.5, maybe. Actually, no, I would say 3, if I had to guess. 3 million unique users, and then 1.6 million alternate characters. That's what I would guess. And that's not counting Korea or anything like that. So that's how I would analyze it myself.
That doing this analysis makes sense, because it is measuring something that's only been possible to measure since August 2018. So it covers a 2-month window in which people would have had to have been active and therefore would have been subscribed. If we were to count this again in 6 months, it would be pointless, because you would be measuring people who were subscribed like sometime in the last 8 months, which isn't really a useful number. Now, I wish I had historical data for all of this. If I could get realm pop of 2 months after Legion launch, 2 months after WoD or MOP launch, then that would be a really good base for comparison, but I can't do that. So right now there's not much that we can do with these numbers. To be clear, this is I think a rough number of active players of Battle for Azeroth endgame content in EU and NA. It's not total subs, doesn't account for new players who are still leveling, but I've got to admit, that couldn't be a tremendous number. The last thing to bring up, I suppose, is that the people who I pulled, they all follow me, and I'm a person who makes WoW videos, and they follow me on Twitter. Now, that's a pretty dedicated audience. I would imagine that they'll have a slightly higher average character per player count than maybe the average population. So yeah, look, that's about as far as we can go with that. I just found the numbers to be fun to go through. At least anecdotally, though, I mean, for me, people I know have left BfA faster than WoD, and I think that's because WoD was a game that you wanted to play, but you kind of couldn't because of a lack of content. Whereas with BfA, it seems like the friction of playing is the thing that's driving people away.
It's actually, yeah, it's really true.
At least that's my read of the situation, but I'd love to hear yours. Okay, next, and now that we're all numbered out, it's time to talk about patch 8.1 and some of the new shiny stuff. So 8.1 is, of course, on the PTR, and Blizzard just pushed a build with the new Blood Elf Heritage armor. And it's pretty much perfect. This
there's that thing.
One of the best looking sets.
Playing a dead game? No, we're not playing dead game.
Of course, it's in line with what we saw from the new Lorthamar model, which is also
how many players are playing with token now?
Of course, getting this is just a quick. It's a matter of doing a quick.
It doesn't really matter, in my opinion.
Exalted with Silvermoon, and thankfully, that's something you can get started on. Now, we also then have a load of new mounts. So first up, there are 2 variations of the frog mount that seem.
Okay, we already saw a lot of these. We don't need to look at all
but
this.
I'm really glad we're getting that model.
But yeah, anyway, let me see what the rest of this is. That's basically the way that I feel about it. I don't really know, yeah, it's kind of true in a way, but at the same time, I'm not really a big fan Heritage Armor content. I don't think Heritage Armor is bad at all. What do you mean? Is BfA basically WoD 2.0? No, it's not WoD 2.0 at all. What do you mean? You're a Tiger Panda in game. Oh. Okay, I see. So what did you think about Bellular's analysis, McConnell?
I don't give a shit about sub numbers. I don't care.
Really?
I just don't care about it. I really don't care, man. I think they're there's got to be better metrics that Blizzard's looking at. Like, I don't care. Like, I appreciate all the effort that Bell went through, you know, trying to get all this together and, you know, assemble it. And, oh, here's the data. I got this. But look, I'm sorry. I don't give a shit. You know, the game, I know that the game is dead. I know that the game is dying, if not already dead. I don't need to see the sub numbers, okay?
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I don't know if that's entirely true. But, I mean, that's one way to look at it, of course. Keep watching video. He talks about my video. Oh, really? Okay. Yeah, just give me a second. All right, I want to see this real quick. Okay. All right, yeah, he talks about me. All right, let's see this.
There's also loads of new lightsabers. They look amazing.
Wow.
There are two ones that seem to be Alliance and Horde Dark Shore rare mob drops. We then have Blackpaw and the Caged Bear, which seem to be the Alliance and Horde versions of Dark Shore rare mob drops. Past that, there's the Ashenvale Chimera, the Frightened Kodo, the Sandy Nightsaber, and the Captured Umber Nightsaber. And then finally, for the PvP players, we have the Onyx War Hyena.
Wow,
so
reskin.
There you go. I guess pray to the RNG gods whenever that Dark Shore Warfront comes out. Chances are they are just, you know, the intent is for these to just sort of come to you slowly as you do your Dark Shore Warfront world content, just like how it goes with the Arathi stuff currently. Next, we have new Azerite traits. Blizzard have talked about how they intended the new 8.1 traits to be better, so it's only fair that I actually give that a, you know, a shake of the stick. And you know what? They're shaping up kind of nicely. So for the DKs, we've got Magnus of the Dead, which causes Unholy's main cooldowns to summon an NPC that attacks your enemies.
Where's where's the part about my video?
Single target value of your cooldowns.
PP Laser and Singers to the 5 gifted subs. Thank you, dude.
Then moving on to the Hunters, we've got Primal Intuition, which increases your max focus, and also causes your main focus jump to increase your crit by 6 for 12 seconds, stacking up to 10 times.
It's going to be about me in just a second.
Hunters, and I like how it's going to affect game feel. It almost feels like one of those artifact traits that, you know, would have buffed up your secondary resources and made your class a bit more smooth to play. For the mages, we've got Flash Freeze. This buffs your icicles and gives each icicle a 5% chance to trigger Fingers of Frost. So a 25% you know, Fingers of Frost chance every time you fire off all your icicles, maybe with your you know, your Glacial Bolt, which is great. I think that'll really positively impact the game feel. Monks get Glory of the Dawn, which causes Rising Sun Kick to have a second or
so these are basically like tier set bonuses, which is awesome.
Maybe a little bit too random, but hey, it's, you know, going to the resource game, it's speeding up how it plays. For the priests, Thought Harvester gives Vampiric Touch, takes a chance to buff your next Mind Seer by 300%. It's another pretty brilliant trait. For the warriors, we've got one that causes Bloodthirst crits to generate extra rage and leave a dot. Which, again, that's something you'll actually feel. And
all right, I didn't even see that.
As a tactician to cause your next overpower to do even more damage and reduce the CD of Mortal Strike.
That's stupid. I don't like that. That's dumb.
More interplay between their abilities.
It's dumb.
And then there are a few generics and healing ones, but on the whole, this build of the PTR had a set of really strong Azerite traits in comparison to the norm of what we have now. And then, of course, a few builds ago, we also looked at some of the new traits, and they were still really good in comparison to 8.0. So look, while the problems of the Azerite system overall, that's a different kettle of fish, I think, yeah, it is becoming apparent that the new trait designs are definitely an improvement in 8.1.
I would agree with that.
Absolutely is a good thing.
Yes,
now, taking
absolutely.
a departure from World of Warcraft, it's time to talk about Diablo.
Oh
it's
boy!
In the news again. People were getting really hyped for Diablo 4, or at least the new entrance.
Here it is, boys.
Franchise. This might be getting a bit out of control, and Blizzard must have been worried about disappointing people, so recently they posted a blog that kind of clarifies what they're doing next. So, the long and short of it is that multiple teams are working on multiple Diablo projects, and not all of them are going to be announced at BlizzCon this year. They said, while we won't be ready to announce all our projects, we do intend to share some Diablo-related news with you.
Such a great game.
And then they also pimped the Switch port of Diablo 3. They've got an opening ceremony followed immediately by the Diablo What's Next panel. I suppose personally, I'd be happy to see a Diablo 3 expansion.
I hated that fucking guy.
Diablo 3 on the Switch, and then a big, fresh new project released next year. Now, on the topic of unannounced projects, there are currently job listings that include high-up roles like executive producer. Additionally, we know that quite a few WoW devs have just went missing. They're moved on to unannounced projects like Craig Amai, like Halinka. So it seems like there is something new brewing for the franchise. Look, Blizzard must know how big Diablo is. Like, look at the sales D3 got. They must know they're not tapping its potential.
It's too bad nobody played it after they bought it.
That's what's going on. Now, looking back at some of the older job listings at Blizzard, we did see some ones that were referencing action game experience, as well as one that referenced mobile strategy game experience. Now, both of those could map onto the Diablo genre.
Listen to that again.
As well as one that referenced mobile strategy game experience.
What did I say? What did I say about Warcraft 3 on your fucking phone?
Now, both of those could map onto the Diablo genre pretty much perfectly, and remember that in the mobile game market, strategy is an extremely broad definition. So we'll probably see something sizable, but maybe not as much as we may have first thought. Regardless, though, it's kind of nice to see that something's going on with Diablo. Okay, next, Asmongold reacts. Yeah, I mean, there's people who just clip his Twitch stream and do really well off it, but Asmongold released his State of Battle for Azeroth video, so naturally people have asked me to react, because him reacting to things is a thing. Well, I watched this video, and if you've watched my critique videos and his reaction videos to my critique videos, then you know that we're pretty much in agreement on all this stuff. I think we both share the main core problem, which is we're
Let's keep reacting, dude.
Design philosophy that their decision making follows through from. So in short,
amazing.
Yes, I agree. Yeah, I just thought I'd mention that, and that's pretty much it for the news. This was quite a week, not a tremendously long episode, but I think very interesting topics to cover, especially those numbers. I just wish I could get my hands on the launch plus 2-month population numbers of past expansions. That'd be really fascinating. If you know how to do that, let me know. Now, as I mentioned at the start of the video, this is all brought to you by the Patreon team over there. There's weekly video content, weekly updates for the channel, general behind the scenes, and of course, the master tier, where you can get your own slice of the channel, and that's really overexposed because of the light. But anyway, they're designed by myself and the art team from my game studio, so yeah, they're a real point of pride for us each month, something we love putting together. With that though, thank you very much for watching today's video, and I'll see you soon.
Coraxon, thank you very much for the 5 gifted subs. I appreciate that, dude. That's actually so look what he said. This is the best part.
As we may have first thought. Regardless, though, it's called reacts.
Listen.
Yeah, I mean, there's people who just clip his Twitch stream and do really well off it, but
who would do that? I wonder. So look at this, dude. 12 likes before it's released. Good job, guys. Oh, here we go. I knew this was gonna be there, man. This is what I was looking for. Asmongold reacts to Bellular, reacting to Asmongold, reacting to Bellular. Oh boy. Yo, dude, this is content, man. This is content.
Okay,
what?
I'm gonna react right now. Here we go.
Okay, dude.
Nice. Cue it up. Throw it up. Throw it up on YouTube, dude.
That was it?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah, we can put that on YouTube for sure. There we go. Like, I don't know. So 3 million subs, man. Like, dude,
that's crazy.
I'm not really sure what to mean past this just being a judgment of the current end game active population of World of Warcraft, which seems to be between 1.3 and 2 million players across Europe and NA.
I just don't care. Like,
and really, this is the only time that doing this analysis makes sense, because
why do you think it doesn't? Why don't you care, dude?
I mean, the game can't even handle over 100 people in the same area at once. What do I care if it has 2, 3, 1 million subs, dude? I don't care.
So you think this is a 300 IQ move by Blizzard to deal with server lag by making more people quit the game?
Yeah, probably. I'm just saying, my player experience is not helped or harmed by knowing the sub numbers.
I think that it matters. I do. I know that a lot of people might disagree with this, but I think that it matters. I don't want to build a house on sand. I don't want to play a dying MMO. It's important. That's why people, like, you see more people start playing WoW, and they're like, there's more people start playing WoW because they're like, oh shit, you know, I want to invest in this game and like be part of this because it's like a fucking thing that's happening. You know what I mean? Like, you don't feel like that at all?
Oh, you don't want to wait. You do know that beachfront properties are some of the most expensive in the world, right? And those are built on sand. So, are you stupid?
Well, so I mean, like, there's
yeah,
a lot
you
of
don't know anything
expenses.
about
There's a lot of expensive houses. Yeah. It doesn't mean it's a good idea. Just because people pays a lot, like people buy Gucci bags. Does that mean it's a good idea to buy a Gucci bag because it's $100?
Yes, because they're made out of a material that does not rip, or it's not a poor material, and it looks good. It's fashionable. It's Gucci, and it doesn't. You know,
it's such bullshit, dude. And you know it.
You pay for quality. You pay for craftsmanship, man.
Wait, everybody get over to me. Everybody go over to me. Everybody go over to me. Just a second. I don't know, dude. I don't think that's true.